Hey, what is up you guys? I'm James from James Reptiles. We are in the reptile room as always, and it's kind of messy in here, right? It's always messy. I'm always doing stuff. I'm always moving stuff around. I'm always cleaning tubs, moving isopods, making room for other stuff, you know, playing with my fish, doing all sorts of stuff. But if we look underneath all the mess, we have clean tubs. What does that mean? Well, if we come over here and move the chair out the way, it means we can finally put females in here. Now, females that are holdbacks, this Black Knight Eclipse, Max Snow, White and Yellow Radar, you know, we can finally put those females in here. And when doing so, there are definitely some females I'm going to take out. Cockroach leg from my dubias. There's definitely some females I'm going to take out, and that's led to a lot of questions by some people of what's the next project I'm buying, right? And I've talked about this a little bit. I like bolt stripe snows a lot. There's a lot of other projects I should get into. I try to stay closer to the higher end stuff, but you know, maybe some radars or some snow radars would be cool to get into. Some other orange morphs like bloods and stuff like that would be really fun to get into. But you don't go from 0 to 100, right? I don't buy 15 adult crested geckos and then start breeding them, right? That doesn't make sense. I have what I have, and I'm going to breed it for another year or two and then slowly add projects. And there's a couple reasons, but the two main ones are, one, I only breed so many leopard geckos. I don't have the time and I don't have the customers to breed like twice as many next year or anything like that with leopard geckos in per se. The market's just not there right now. Maybe in the future it will be. Maybe in the future more people will know me. I know we're like 10, 15 subs from like 500, so maybe eventually, you know, when the channel's a little bit bigger, my name will be out there a little bit more. When people say they're going to buy a leopard gecko, they'll think about me, right? And that'll allow me to sell more leopard geckos more readily. But the other main issue is space. You know, this rack is going to be all females this year, and I might have a couple empty spots, sure, but I ran out of space with one of these last year. Well, now, because my males are in that one, I have 1.5, and I'm going to have twice as many females. So, at least I need one more, right? Well, that pushes things around. If I put it up here, some of these snakes have to be moved somewhere, which means they're probably going on the ground, or I'm going to put them over there where the babies are. Well, then the babies have to go somewhere, so those are either going to go on top of the incubator. Hopefully I'm selling some. I might be putting them random places, like up top, anywhere I can fit them. And it basically just creates an issue. So, in the future, I plan on not expanding my leopard geckos until I can get a bigger space. Now, this is kind of crazy to talk about, and I might have talked about it before, but a retail or a warehouse space is absolutely on my mind. Now, I have looked into it a little bit. Let me turn you guys towards me. I have looked into it a little bit. Here where I'm at in Vacaville, there is nothing within my budget. I'd have to say my budget is probably around, if it is something I wanted to do, I could probably swing about $500 a month. And that would be very difficult. Just because if I had a retail space, one, it would be small. It'd probably be the size of this room, maybe twice as big. Probably not much more than that. It's about what I could afford. But two, it's just time. You know, I work a full-time job. If I was able to afford that, I would have to consistently keep working. I couldn't take time off to go do that. It would honestly just be more space to keep doing exactly what I'm doing, which 2 spots would be great for videos. I could keep all the animals here. Maybe I'd move my leopard geckos there, or maybe I'd move my crested geckos there, and I'd free up some space. And then, you know, I could expand the leopards. But, you know, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. A lot of the spaces I'm seeing that are in that range, in that size, are retail or they're in really bad spots and it's not anything I want to do right now. Maybe when the business is making a little bit more money, maybe when I'm working a little bit less at my daytime job. These are all things for down the road, you know, a couple years down the future, but it's not the end of the world. Sorry, I'm breathing heavy. I just worked out and now we're shooting a video where I'm talking a lot. So leopard geckos are kind of going to get capped out this year, and that's not to say that I might replace a female with a darker black knight, or I might buy a pair of black knights, pure black knights, and replace these guys or something like that. There's not to say I'm not going to change the geckos in here. I'm just not going to get more space for breeders. Now, capping out the leopard geckos, I've really focused on leopard geckos a lot the last couple years. I've got the corn snakes and stuff, but they've kind of been on the back burner, which you can kind of do with snakes. So that's not too big of a deal. But one thing I neglected a lot, the crested geckos. If you guys know at all, I had a bunch of red babies I purchased, and I actually ended up selling them all. Now, I did make a profit on those babies, but the ultimate plan was to grow them up and breed them. Now, I'm definitely lacking. I need to take this out and clean it and keep rotating them. I need to put like dates on them and have like a mandatory, like every 4 months I clean one, or every 3 months I clean one, or something like that, or every 6 months they all have to be cleaned. Because I'm really getting really bad about it. But as the leopard geckos get capped out, I'm going to focus a little bit more on the crested geckos and just a tiny bit more on the corn snakes. So the leopard geckos will get capped out. I'll kind of learn how much money I can make from them every year. And, you know, when that money comes in, I know it comes in around fall, because that's just leopard gecko season. But the crested geckos, you know, I got lily whites raising up, I got quad stripes raising up, I got better Dalmatians raising up. So probably not this breeding season, but the next one when those are all adults, you know, instead of producing 60, some 50, 60, $70 geckos, and then some $100, $150 geckos, they're going to be all like $100 to $200 geckos. And with more lily whites, you know, I'm going to get more $400 to $500 animals. And, you know, that with the leopard gecko money, I'm going to buy my first xanthics, or, you know, some of those cool leucistics or amelanistics that they have over in Korea. You know, I'll be able to grow that, and I'll, you know, get a couple more tanks up top. Now, I've talked about doing, what are they called? The Hawaiian geckos. What the heck are they called? Morning geckos. I've talked about doing the Hawaiian phase morning geckos. They sell for about $100 a piece, but I've talked myself out of it. One, I don't want another species. That's a whole other thing. It just shouldn't be, because they eat the same and all this, but it's a whole nother thing. And you don't sell the babies too often, especially unless someone's going to breed them. They're not going to buy the Hawaiians for $100 when they get normal, regular babies for like $30. So I talked myself out of it. I'm going to stick with what I know. And while I'm doing this, and, you know, I'll probably be working on the leopard geckos, like I said, getting nicer oranges, maybe getting darker black knights, whatever, slowly fixing that up. Because the nicer the animals I breed, the more money I can make, which means I can buy nicer animals, which eventually means I can buy a retail space or rent a retail space. I'll be working with the corn snakes. If you know, one of the reverse Okatee females is for sale. If I do sell her, I'm either going to buy a palmetto or a scaleless, more likely a scaleless. It's hard to say. A scaleless I can fit into a lot more projects. The palmetto, I probably have to buy a pair of heads or something like that. Who's to say? The head albino cow kings, they're really pointless, but I can't sell them. So the plan is to breed them, keep a pair of albinos back, slowly, you know, get rid of the adults and the other babies. Maybe keep the adult female, just because it'll be half and half. Who knows? It's all work in progress, right? But I'm capping out on the leopard geckos for the room. It just doesn't make sense to keep breeding them in this room and make more. So I won't be adding any new breeder space. I might maximize that space. I might maximize the morphs in there. But it's time to focus on those, because I love my blue beauties. I have 2 holdback blue beauties. So eventually I'm going to have a male and 3 females. And what that means is I need a lot of space. They take a lot of space. So by the time in 2 or 3 years when they're all adults, I need to have a bigger space. So that's the end goal. That's what I'm going to be striving for. Everything's a work in progress, right? So with that, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope it really encourages you to focus on what you're doing and keep going. I'm living the dream, right? I still work a full-time job, and I come home, and for the last 4 or 5 years, I work an extra 4 to 8 hours at home every day with my animals non-stop. And it's a lot of work. Even when I was working 2 jobs, I was coming home and working with my animals. And I'm finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And that doesn't mean I'm stopping. It means I'm keeping and going, right? I'm right there. Give me a year. I believe I'll be part-time at my job. I believe, a year from now, I will be part-time at my job, if not sooner. I think I could do it sooner if I wanted to. But, that all depends on you guys too, right? If the YouTube channel does really good, I could probably start that sooner. But animal-wise, if I was just doing animals, my stack of clean tubs is falling over. If I was just doing animals, it would probably be fall next year where I'd rake in all that leopard gecko money and, be able to do part-time at my job. I'd have a big savings account, pay off any debts I would have. But if the YouTube channel does good, we're just about 500 subs, 1,000 subs, and we can start doing ads or whatever. Not that I really would want to do that, but maybe we could get, once we hit 1,000, we could get a channel sponsor or something like Rainbow Mealworms sponsors Dave Kaufman, right? We could do that potentially. So that would be really cool. That'd definitely help out. If they were to send me mealworms, I wouldn't be breeding my mealworms. I wouldn't be spending any money. I'd be saving a lot of money. So Rainbow Mealworms, if they're seeing this, sponsor me. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what animals you want me to focus on at the Lodi Expo, because that's the next video that's going to come out after this. It's going to be the Lodi Expo. It's happening twice a year now, which is awesome. Can't wait to show you guys that. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that definitely helps out the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.